Picture a scene set in 1840, where you find yourself as a spirited sea captain in the distant South Pacific. Suddenly, you encounter an enormous ice wall, towering a mile high and extending endlessly in all directions. You decide to navigate to the right, searching for a way to circumvent this massive barrier. Yet, despite sailing for miles, the wall persists. Invariably, you end up right where you began, facing a wall of ice that is, quite literally, unbreachable. It's easy to speculate that this ice serves as the boundary of the world, crafted to prevent us from falling off the edge of a flat Earth. However, a savvy sea captain of the 1840s would already understand the Earth is round and that he was circumnavigating in a vast circle. While no one believed Antarctica was the world's end, its harsh conditions made it feel like a life-threatening frontier. Surviving in Antarctica is immensely challenging, making it feel almost like a new planet. This is why NASA has opted to train astronauts for future missions to Mars in the extreme environment of Antarctica. It's akin to another world. Human habitation in Antarctica is relatively recent, only emerging within the last century, and much of it remains unexplored. Historically, regions untouched by humans were draped in legend and lore, brimming with mythical creatures like dragons. Antarctica embodies this spirit of mystery even today. After delving into this topic, I uncovered a treasure trove of intriguing tales and enigmas surrounding this icy land. Let's explore what makes Antarctica possibly the most enigmatic location on Earth and uncover its secrets. If there is one word that encapsulates Antarctica, it is desolate. It is an unending expanse of white, situated within one of the driest environments, housing 60% of the planet's fresh water, all trapped beneath an ice sheet that blankets 99.6% of the continent. This ice sheet is incredibly thick, averaging about 2,160 meters or 1.3 miles. Most map projections show only a sliver of this land, obscuring the fact that Antarctica is over twice the size of Australia and large enough to completely encompass the United States, Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico, and much of southern Canada. Peering at the surface reveals this towering ice mass. Antarctica is also recognized as the windiest location on the planet, with an average wind speed of 10 knots that can spike to 80 knots, equivalent to 96 miles per hour, prompted by katabatic winds, which result from cold, dense air cascading through the landscape's valleys. Geographically isolated, it is encircled by some of the largest oceans, with the nearest inhabited land over 1,000 miles away. The Antarctic Peninsula is the closest point, lying 600 miles from Tierra del Fuego in Argentina, separated by the notoriously turbulent Drake Passage. In addition to its icy facade, Antarctica has a vast network of subterranean lakes, approximately 400 of them. Scientists first detected these hidden water bodies in the 1970s with the help of radar, seismic, and satellite technologies, uncovering lakes that lie deep beneath the ice. Among them is Lake Vostok, the sixth largest lake in the world by volume, which remains unfrozen despite being buried under nearly a mile of ice. This peculiar phenomenon is due to geothermal activity around a vent that maintains the water's liquid state, a unique situation as this environment has remained isolated from the rest of the world for 15 million years. Debates have long raged on about the type of marine life that might inhabit Lake Vostok, but it wasn't until 1999 that scientists obtained clarity on the matter. Humans share a peculiar fascination with extreme, isolated places, leading to dangerous explorations in Antarctica, starting in the early 20th century, where many adventurers tragically sought the South Pole first. Robert Falcon Scott is perhaps the most notable figure from this heroic age. Initially a respected British Navy officer, his life took a turn following the untimely deaths of his father and brother, compelling him to become the only financial support for his family. Desperate to elevate his social standing, yet finding scant opportunity in the Navy, Scott seized the chance to lead a Royal Geographical Society expedition to the South Pole after meeting Clements Markham in 1099. By 1901, he set sail aboard the ship Discovery with fellow explorers Ernest Shackleton and Edward Bullock, achieving a then record for the south latitude of 82 degrees before being compelled to return due to supply shortages and scurvy. Despite the objective being unsuccessful, Scott returned home a national hero, having contributed significantly to science and exploration. Though publicly amicable, Scott felt resentment towards Shackleton, whom he partly blamed for not reaching the pole. Their rivalry intensified in 1907 when Shackleton launched his own expedition. He defied Scott's request to avoid McMurdo Sound, the safest landing spot in Antarctica, and approached the South Pole, trailing only 95 miles short of it. Although Shackleton subsequently had to turn back to safeguard his crew, he earned a reputation as a leader who prioritized his men's safety over personal accolades, a stark contrast to Scott. In November 1911, Scott took off for his second attempt to claim the South Pole. On January 17, 1912, Scott and his team reached their destination only to find a Norwegian flag planted there. Roald Amundsen had arrived a month earlier. Defeated, Scott's expedition faced disastrous conditions on the return journey, concluding with the demise of Scott and his crew, ultimately sealing his tragic legacy. Amundsen, contrastingly, executed his mission with meticulous planning, training his crew for years prior and completing his journey with ease. Though he had no scientific component to his trip, Scott's expedition yielded the first fossil evidence found in Antarctica, a discovery indicating that it was once a flourishing forest, lending credence to the concept of plate tectonics and enhancing understanding of Earth's geological past. In an age ripe with technological advancement, many more mysteries of Antarctica were unraveled. Among these was another lake called Deep Lake, found in East Antarctica, exceedingly deeper than Lake Vostok, with a salinity akin to the Dead Sea, an environment where life surprisingly thrives. A 2008 study identified 3 species of bacteria known as Hylorrhea within its depths, highlighting nature's resilience against extreme conditions. Moreover, nestled in the McMurdo dry valleys, there's Taylor Glacier, which features a striking 5-story waterfall known as Blood Falls. This unusual site has a vivid appearance reminiscent of blood, originally attributed to iron-rich nanospheres that oxidize upon contact with air, creating the colorful display. The Ross Ice Shelf, Antarctica's largest, is equivalent to the size of France and displays unique vibrational properties caused by winds moving across its surface, producing seismic tones audible only through specialized sensors. Alongside these marvels, other fascinating anomalies have surfaced, such as a gravity anomaly indicating an enormous impact crater beneath the ice, potentially linked to colossal geologic events. To further entrench ourselves in the surreal nature of Antarctica, it's essential to navigate through stories garnished with lore like ghost lifeboats and purported secret bases. In 1964, an abandoned lifeboat was found near Bovise Island, only to vanish during a subsequent expedition, leading to ghostly tales. Additionally, recent myths about monstrous creatures in Lake Vostok, like the fictional creature organism 46B, showcase the blend of fact and fantasy that envelops this remote region. These narratives intertwine with conspiracies surrounding the Nazis, indicating they might have established a hidden base in Antarctica, allegedly to conduct secret operations against Allied forces. Theories implicating UFO operate from such bases have flourished in conspiracy circles, feeding into sci-fi imaginations. However, many of these fanciful accounts have been debunked through scientific inquiry. For instance, the mysterious lifeboat was eventually connected to the Soviet whaling fleet, while both the octopus narrative and pyramid conjectures can be traced back to fictional origins or natural mountain formations, respectively. Antarctica permits productive scientific research, as seen in the studies of its extreme environments and unique ecosystems. In 1998, scientists successfully drilled an ice core, revealing extremophile microbes that thrive in its cold waters. Following careful procedures, in 2012, researchers from Russia collected water samples from Lake Vostok, discovering a diverse, microscopic ecosystem, albeit with some controversy over contamination. The research conducted in Antarctica holds the potential for groundbreaking insights, encapsulating a wealth of knowledge about Earth's past and supporting studies on extraterrestrial missions. While the thrilling lore and eccentric tales of Antarctica may capture public imagination, they don't overshadow the scientific significance